Metair reported a 38% rise in headline earnings per share to 260 cents for the past year, while revenue was up 14% due to an increase in vehicle production and local non-auto sales growth. The company CEO, Theo Loock, joins us to unpack the results. You must be very pleased with this set of results given the tough economic environment we've been working through. Do you see traction? Is it part of your diversification strategy that has given you the traction that you are experiencing at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's resetting the base firstly. You know, the 2008 financial crisis forced us to look at our business and then changing the focus in the business from previously where the vehicles were manufactured to now where the vehicles are sold and bringing balance in the business. And across all the sectors, aftermarket, non-automotive business and the regional equipment sectors, we had good demand and therefore a very good result. And we're obviously extremely pleased with the result.
How much traction are you seeing in that aftermarket sales? I was just chatting to the gentleman in the break saying that I have a particular problem with my brake pads. I've got to replace them on a yearly basis. So I'm the kind of customer you ultimately want. I'm sure there are a lot of us out there.
Yes, we like you, but you must come every 6 months. We prefer that. It depends on what's the annuity income from the product that you derive. You know, annuity income deriving from vehicle sales as the vehicle park is growing, including the imported vehicles. If you're in generic products, that can go across vehicles like batteries, brake pads, tires and various other products. The growth in the industry as the vehicle park is growing gives you constant demand for those products. And we've seen a very great positive growth in that.
Gentlemen, you're both looking at me as though you want to jump in.
A couple of questions. First of all, manufacturing South Africa, I know there's a lot of lobbying going around at the end of the day for a weaker rand to support manufacturing. Now, the vehicle industry has been protected in inverted commas by the industrial policy for a long time. Has that been successful, and do you think that model can be transported to other manufacturing sectors? In other words, manufacturing has halved in size in the last 10 years. Is industrial policy or a weaker rand the answer? What's your view? You're right in the middle of this.
We're in the middle of it. You know, for us it's a combination of two. You want to see a little bit of weakening the rand because we're in an inflationary environment and we compete in a deflationary environment. So devaluation of the rand and the rand at the right values is important. But as important is industrial policy from government. We must get South Africa working. One of the positive effects of our results, yes, we've had a nice increase in earnings. But we've also employed 7 to 8% more people last year, 450 people. That's what South Africa must get talking. The industrial policy by the Automotive Development and Production Program has given us security of tenure for the next 7 to 8 years to 2020. So yes, a combination. Here's an answer. The government has stepped in, it's brought up a program, and there's real growth in the industry. That's positive.
Just explain to us what is happening with that policy. So MIDP is being phased out. Is the Automotive Production and Development Program already operational?
Yes, portions of it, and that's the investment allowances. So that allows the motor companies to make the upfront decisions. Are they going to produce the vehicles in South Africa? They've made them, and that's where the growth has come from. We've come from a low vehicle percentage growth of 350,000 vehicles in the crisis back to about 500,000 vehicles. The security of that has given them investment opportunity. Investment opportunity has launched new vehicles. So there's the growth opportunity, and it's brought security to this industry.
So, you know, that's a very interesting thing that you point out there, the structural foundation of the policy. Can I ask you, in these results, are you able to tell what portion of these results comes from cyclical effects of people purchasing cars, some cars being made here, and so you getting business, and what portion of it comes from, well, and what portion of it would be there anyway if the cycle wasn't there because of policy?
Yeah, I think it's very easy in South Africa. We're less than 0.5% of the world economy in any terms. So anything more than that, we're starting to enjoy the world economy. And that's directly related to the export of vehicles. Last year, this country exported 278,000 vehicles. The NAMSA figures project that this year we will go record levels of 300,000. So yes, there is a direct benefit. The other side of the coin is vehicle sales in South Africa has grown. Some of that's come from imported vehicles, 50% or more of it. But if you're in the annuity income portion of that, it's a very nice balance to the business.
So I see what you're saying, that 5 of the 14% growth in revenue will be the cyclical portion. The balance is a global portion.
Global portion.
Wow, that's very good, huh?
The industry, obviously, manufacturing environment has been plagued by strikes, by high inflation. You certainly refer to the number of people that you have employed over this period. Do you think that, I mean, these headaches aren't going to go away anywhere anytime soon in South Africa? And it's this proverbial question that we ask CEOs, are these the two things that keep you awake? Labor and inflation in South Africa?
No, competitiveness is what keeps us awake. You got to deal, you got to do the training, you got to do the investment in the people, you got to use the structures that's available from government, you got to rise to the challenge. South Africa has got to be competitive. Manufacturing has gone from 22% of GDP to maybe 14, 15%, but the one portion that sustained itself is vehicle manufacturing and vehicle retail. We've been 6 or 7% of that figure, and we stayed that. So we've got a government incentive program that protects us, but we're also exposed to the international environment. And if I want to supply Ford in South Africa, I've got to be competitive to Ford in Detroit in America. It's as simple as that. Get competitive.
You wanted to jump in there.
I wanted to ask, so given the structural underpin of the policy, and of course your competitive and productivity measures, do you have a targeted return on equity or return on capital that you use to benchmark your own success?
Yes, we do. In our industry, we'd sort of target a 22% return on equity, and raging on that. You know, bad years can be low, but good years, everything working together in all the markets, you can have a better return.
Going back to that diversification strategy that we touched on earlier, you're also supplying parts into telecommunications, into mining. Can you elaborate on that strategy and how big a part of your business is it going to be down the line?
I think it's substantially growing. We're targeting more than 60% contribution from our non-OE business. That's where we're targeting. And we're launching specific products. An example, the start-stop battery. We believe the world's going to make a significant paradigm shift from producing 50 or 60% of the vehicles from 2015, 2016 are going to have start-stop facilities in it to reduce the carbon emissions. We have launched that product. So be ahead of the curve, go into the green products, be sensitive for your environment, and be competitive in everything that you possibly can do.
And maybe that start-stop battery can offset that carbon tax that is looming over our heads. Theo, thanks very much for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Theo Loock, Chief Executive of Metair.